Myth just announced his break from streaming. Let's watch this video to actually understand what he's going through.
Yo, what's up, guys? So some of you guys know that I recently announced that I finished up my last day of streaming contractually over at YouTube. And with that, there's a lot of questions regarding what's next, what am I gonna do, where am I gonna stream? And we're gonna summarize all that up in this quick, convenient video for you guys because I've been dying to talk about all this.
Okay.
So I was streaming over on YouTube for 2 years, and it's absolutely insane that those 2 years are up already. And the team over at YouTube was absolutely incredible.
Dude.
They honestly went above and beyond to make sure that I was comfortable, that I had people that I could talk to at any time.
Did you see the amount of the time and effort they put on this video? They had B-roll.
Had any questions, and I could just continue giving them rewards and credits for how welcomed they made me feel and how much it seemed that they cared about my content.
That's why I haven't seen him. He went to YouTube.
Not even seemed, they did care. I know they cared. And that's something that in all my years of streaming, no matter what platform, it's really rare to come across
I know it's
that.
recent.
And I just thought that it was something that I wanted to know. It's crazy to kind of come to the end of that contract and figure out what my plan is next.
Okay, 40.
And what streaming or content creation looks like for me in general in the future. With doing this for nearly a decade nonstop, I feel like
I can tell you what happened. He was known as the best builder, and Daquan and Hamlins were both into the competitive, area. Their views went extremely insane when they got into a house and they started hanging out with each other and making content with each other, remember? But when it came to actually competing as a trio against professional players, they weren't that great. Other people became better builders than Myth, and that's what people wanted to watch at that time, right? They wanted to watch the best of the best. That's why the people were watching Myth in the first place, because he was the best at the best. He beat Summit? He beat Summit or something like that, and that kind of blew him his career up. I think that kind of started the decline. If you see at the beginning, he was doing a lot of sponsor work. What happens when you do sponsor work? What happens when you're a streamer? You don't have time to become the best. The balance wasn't there. That's what I think. That's my theory. I could be wrong.
It is true to my core right now.
I could be wrong.
That it's important for me to take a break. And I don't know exactly when I'll be back, which is insane. I've never done anything like this.
This has been streaming for a while too.
My entire career, I've never taken a period of time off and without knowing exactly when I'm going to be back. But I do want to be back. And
okay, that's good. At least it's not going to put up your list.
I want to make content and I want to stream in a way that feels authentic to me, to who I am, to who I've become. When I first started streaming, seriously, I was 16 or 17 years old, and and now I'm 25. So it feels like there's been a lot of personal growth within that frame of time. And with that, there needs to be, for me at least, a new way of doing this or navigating this space as a content creator. There's been so much kind of happening in the space, and I feel like if I didn't give myself time to just breathe and think, I would hop into streaming back on Twitch and nothing would really change. I wouldn't change the way I did it. I would go live, I would play games, and it wouldn't really feel valuable to me.
Damn, he was so young.
That I'm doing with intent. I think a big thing for me as well within the past few years is I genuinely want to create moments for you guys. All of my favorite moments throughout my career have been moments where you guys quit watching the stream or you quit watching the video and you feel like you're left with something, like there's something to talk about after. And I just don't feel like I've done that really maybe in the past few years, which also I'd be down on myself. We had 2 boxing events over the past 2 years. We've been part of multiple streaming events with friends and other stuff. But I think it's different when you're kind of somebody playing a role in somebody else's idea. And I love executing that, and I love being there to entertain you guys when I'm offered those roles and positions. But I want to take my hand at making things that I really think are worthwhile and worth your guys' time.
Aww.
And that could only be done with taking a little bit of time off to think about how I'm going to do that.
Honestly, this is so good for him. This is so good for him. I think like a mental reset is definitely in place for him. Like he said, he's been doing this since he was 16 and now he's 25. All that time is gone that quickly, chat. You don't even know what happened.
And furthermore, on everything that I just said, I think I have a little bit of a problem in terms of recognizing and appreciating all that I've done in content. It's really hard for me to look at the past and like I logically know that this is like wrong, not necessarily wrong, but just something that I shouldn't really be worrying about, because I do feel like I've accomplished a lot. But at the same exact time, I look back on my past and I'm like, I have like this feeling or like this burden that I really didn't do much in general, and I really have done a lot of work to not feel that way and to remind myself of like all the cool shit that I've done and all the great friends that I've made along the way. And I just think when you are a streamer, it's really like isolating, and with that it becomes really easy to forget all the
dude, he's always so smart,
all the things that kind of you've done along the way. And even throughout my rise, I didn't really have a time to kind of pause and appreciate any of the moments that I had. And yeah, man, we've had so many good moments throughout the course of this last chapter, or the last 8 years of me doing this. Being signed as the first signed professional for Fortnite and joining TSM. Crazy. Me getting along with Hamlins and Daquan and finding those guys and wanting to form a team with them, and TSM signing us and putting us in a house and having us make content together.
Love games, but
I mean, those are the moments that you guys are holding on to still to this day.
I honestly think if we can make Daquan and Hamlin's come back and do like a streaming house IRL, just chatting, the same way like Ronaldo and Lacey are doing, you know, with the face people. If they could just, you know, be the trio that they were at one point, I think it will bring Myths so much happiness.
And it blows my mind.
Like AMP too.
When I walk down the street and somebody still recognizes me, and they recognize me from specifically those days, I'm like, dude, holy fuck. I'm still in people's minds in that way. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Looking past that, during COVID, Among Us, we had really great times. Rust. We've had so many great moments on Rust throughout different servers. Also, Coach Myth.
I'm talking snap, flash, haste!
Another fucking insane, another insane moment in my life during COVID where I was just like, hey, no one just watches esports and like talks over it. Let me do that and put on a little character to it and try to make it a little more entertaining and a little more fun. Man, I remember doing that voice in my bathroom and just being like, people are gonna fucking think I'm cringe. You guys fucking loved
Chris,
it.
thank you so much for the 19 months. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Cutie Cinderella and having me at like shit camp, and me being around other creators of that caliber for arguably the first time in person doing IRL content. I didn't know what I was doing. I was a gamer, dude. I was a Fortnite player. I didn't think that I could actually be enjoyable like in person. It was weird, but that was another moment where you guys showed incredible support and helped reinforce the idea that like I want to entertain and that I want to create.
Yeah, he just needs to find the right people around him.
2 boxing matches. I did 2 boxing matches. One was chess boxing, and then we did an actual boxing match, Creator Clash, and won both of them. I never played a sport in my life before then, and streaming and content creation pushed me in that direction. Yeah, it's just there's been so many moments throughout my career that when I
Oh,
look back
shit.
on, I'm like, that was sick. We did that. That was awesome. It's been great.
Is this guy a fuck?
It really, really has. And I continuously want it to be. And now, since I don't have to worry about viewers, I don't have to really worry about the monetary side of things, it feels like I'm extremely privileged to be in a position, and I'm honored to be in a position where I can make content moving forward that really resonates not only with you guys, but with me. Also, I just want to conclude that this is not a retirement video. At least I don't want it to be. Shit, I could go on a break and I could come back and nobody's there, and that's okay. I'll have to work for it again, and that is what it is. But I love streaming. I want to come back and stream. This is a break for an indefinite period of time, though. I'm not too sure when I'll click that go live button again. All I know is that when I do, I want to feel happy to do it. I want to feel...
You know what? I agree with this guy 100%. This season sucks. I'm happy that he's doing this for himself and that he's, you know,
feel like there's a reason behind me doing it. But yeah, man, I love streaming, and streaming is... Listen, I'm just gonna be blunt with you guys, bro. It's the most privileged job you could fucking have, bro. I get paid to play video games for a goddamn living, you know? This shit's crazy, and it couldn't be done without you guys. It's just plain and simple. There is no streamer without the audience.
Yep.
And I'm so goddamn privileged and humbled to be able to do this for a living for as long as I have. I'm coming up on nearly a decade of streaming, and I'm 25 years old, which is fucking weird. It's weird and it's crazy, and I thank God every day for the fact that I've been able to do this for as long as I have. So, you know, when that time comes, hopefully it'll be a new chapter, and it'll be something that I and you guys are happy to be around and enjoy deeply.
Aww.
So, yeah, man. I don't know, it's kind of a crazy moment. It's kind of wrapping up the end of the video, but I really just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart.
This is sad, man.
There's been so many times where I envision talking to myself as a kid, and I've had so many times where I reflect on that, and young me is so happy and so proud of all the things that we've done in gaming and in content, and that has been given to me by you guys that show up day in and day out on YouTube, on Twitch. And it's just a crazy thing to experience, man. It's crazy living out your dream in a sense, you know? I've said this from the earliest days of me streaming, and I feel like it's a good way to kind of close this chapter. I really hope you guys keep believing, man. You know, in yourselves, in your ability to love, and your ability to change, and your ability to be yourself. Oh, this entire journey that I'm on with content creation and streaming has begun from a belief in self, and I just want to extend that as one final note to you guys as well. Whatever it is out there, you got to believe in yourself, and you got to chase it, man. And that's always been the goal. It's always been the message throughout my stream. So thank you guys for believing in me, and I guess I'll see you till next time, man. Take care.
Oh my God, I got goosebumps. I literally got goosebumps. It reminds me, it makes me think of the good old days, man. Good old days. It also reminds me how much Fortnite has changed so many people's life. So many. I just hope that, you know, he finds his happiness, and if he decides to start streaming again, I just wish him the best, to be honest. You know, you can tell he's very genuine. You don't get to see a lot of people like that on streaming, to say how they truly feel on cam, and, you know, put themselves out there to the world, because, you know, people are not always going to be so super nice to you. We'll see what he decides to do. I hope he does come back.